Hi everybody, welcome back to Generic Fun 95, and tonight I'm going to be reviewing Caroline and the Magic Potion. This is actually a horrible ripoff of the wonderful stop-motion animated movie Coraline. Now, I love the movie Coraline. It's about a little girl who goes exploring around her new home, and her parents don't have time for her. But she finds a door and she finds another world, and a lot of things get messed up over time, and it's really scary what happens toward the end of the film. But this is entirely different. I saw a comment online, not on YouTube, but on Google, of the reviews of this ripped off film called Caroline and the Magic Potion, and this person said that it was awful. They thought it was a sequel to the original film, but it really wasn't. Now I'm going to tell you about this film. Oh, by the way, sorry for the slightly low quality. I'm doing this on my computer and on my on-camera. But anyway, first of all, the animation is really awful. There's it's poorly animated, and the script was poorly written, and the scenes are boring and long, and the characters make no sense, and even the voice acting in the film sounds horrible. It sounds like sometimes it's ear-splitting, like 3 of those god-awful snails. They even show up almost immediately. They show up even immediately after the film starts. They show up immediately after the film starts and start singing some crap. Humming some crap. Even the movie states that they're annoying. Alright, first of all, we open up to this girl, Caroline, not Coraline. Caroline, who is looking for stuff around her little room in the back of her grandma's RV. And she lives with her grandma, where her grandma has a traveling business, selling remedies to people who got sick in each town. But then some guy with natural organic product crap comes over and tries to force her to sell her company and give her the recipes of the ingredients that she uses to cure people with. She refuses to sell, but lucky enough, they get out of here. They get out of there, and then alright. Sorry, I'm writing down what I remember, and I didn't really finish it all the way through because it just sucked. It was really a piece of poop I just watched. I watched it last night and I fell asleep, and I woke up at 4 something in the morning, and the light was on, and then I had to get up for work. My alarm went off, and then my roommate came in and said angrily, "I'm going to throw that thing across the room." But luckily she didn't. Alright. So then after that, they, actually, this business that wants to buy her grandma's remedy shop, they set up a camera inside of the place, inside of her caravan, and then she has one of the most ugliest cats I've ever seen animated, named Moose. And he was just staring at the camera and then sucking on it. But then they try and get footage of them. Also, throughout the film, Caroline is actually friends with this guy named Salou. And she's now listen carefully. This is very important. She is a child, and Salou appears to be an adult, and she befriends him and has fantasies of him, which is awfully creepy and illegal, because Salou could possibly be a creepy pedophile or something like that. But we do see him get arrested, even though he didn't lay a finger on here, just friends. Nothing to, nothing that has to do with relationships, but just as friends. But we still do see him get arrested, even though he had nothing to do with any of this crime. The grandma takes her phone away, and then she begs for it back. To be honest, I don't blame the grandmother. She's a good grandma, trying to protect her granddaughter from a possible pedophile. Because he looks like he's my age, and Caroline is 12, supposedly. Now, in the original film, in the real version, Coraline, she's the same age as Wybie, which is perfectly fine because they're both children. And also, Wybie wasn't in the original book of Coraline. I listened to the book on my phone, and it's still a great book, even though Wybie wasn't there. Alright, so now, in the film... Oh yeah, and next up, there's a motorcycle following them, and they try and lose it, but Coraline then learns magic stuff, witchcraft, whatever the hell it is, and she learned how to do it, and she got an umbrella to fly. And then as the grandma stepped on the brakes of the caravan, Caroline flew the umbrella out of the window, and then the caravan crashed into a tree. But by the time Caroline came back, she found that her grandma was nowhere to be seen. Sorry, I'm scratching my head because I'm so itchy. There's no lice or dandruff or anything. Alright. And then the police show up, and she tries to protect the remedies, but please excuse me if I scratch my head. My scalp is so dry. Jesus. This is exactly what this film is. It's this. Scratching your scalp. Because it's that bad. So then she takes some green magic stuff and puts a cop to sleep on accident, I'm assuming. What the fuck is this movie trying to tell here? What are they even trying to say, or what the hell are they trying to show anyway? The film makes like I said before, the film makes no sense, and it's hard to comprehend what happened in each scene, and there's long, boring scenes that make no sense, and it's unnecessary, and the motion of the characters is awful. It looked like there was only every other frame in the film, which made it even worse. Now, the real Coraline came out in 2009, and it was beautifully animated with stop motion. But this, Caroline and the Magic Potion, came out in 2015. 2015. 2015. And the animation was awful. It looked like a low-budget film that was made with only a $25 budget, and it sucked. It even has a 1-star review online, because people hated it. Not to mention those god-awful snails singing that make your ears bleed and make you wish you were deaf. So then, Caroline sets out to try and find her grandmother. Sorry, I'm looking at what I remember, so please excuse me. I'm sorry. Alright. So then the main villain is actually a little girl who somehow owns this stupid product company, and they're trying to force the grandma to give away her recipes, but she still refuses. And one of the weirdest scenes by far is one of the guards, who actually looked like a woman with black hair, who sounded exactly like a crappy robot. I even recorded a video of it on my camera roll, and I edited it and repeated those clips over and over again just because it was kind of so bad it was funny, actually. But still, the voices sound awful. Then the police officer wakes back up, and then he's on a hangover, wondering where Caroline and the caravan are. And then one of his employees actually tries to call him, asking what he would like for dinner, Italian or Chinese. But then he decided on Chinese, or whatever the hell, and he kept calling him throughout a bit of the film. He kept asking for Chinese or Italian. Like what the hell was that all about? Why do we need to know that? Shouldn't we try and focus on getting Caroline to her grandmother and saving her instead of this weird bullshit crap they just showed just now? Whatever Caroline accidentally dosed that cop with that magic green stuff must have been very weird crap or something. So then after that, Caroline's, one of the guys was still trying to force her to tell them the recipe, but she still refused. So they were going to try and give her a truth-telling serum. But luckily she somehow, I don't remember what happened, to be honest. Then the main villain's mother shows up and asks to play a game of poker. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. A game of poker? And then, they try and record what the recipe is going to be, to see if she'll spill out the recipe. But they keep singing an obscure, crappy song about cooking something. And then, pretty much after that, it gets really boring. And there's long scenes, and then I passed out, and then I couldn't watch the rest of it because it looked dumb. Sorry, and I'm just telling you what I remember. Sorry the video is so long. I'm just trying to remember what I saw in the film, and the best I could describe. Now, the snails are probably the worst characters in the entire movie because they keep singing a bunch of crap. Oh, and also there was another scene where Caroline flew that umbrella and someone was singing about a song about flying. Again, this film makes no sense at all. Like the scene where the cop wakes up and then I think he's actually a captain or a drill sergeant. Not drill sergeant, a police sergeant, chief of police. And he said that, and one of his employees asked for dinner, like what to get him or whatever. And even his voice sounded horrible on the walkie-talkie. He sounded like he was being squeezed to death by someone while he sounded like he was kicked in the balls trying to tell him trying to ask him what's for dinner. And one of the guards, the lady with black hair, sounds like a cheap robot from Five and Below. A cheap, crappy robot from Five and Below. And even the main villain has a very bad evil laugh. Yeah, so it's been over 15 minutes into this video now, and I'm just telling you what I remember. All in all, it's a crappy movie. Please, if you want to watch it, please proceed with caution. This is what I think of it. It's an awful movie, and it's a horrible ripoff of Coraline. I don't know why people thought this crappy film was such a good idea. Yes, I do have the DVD, but I threw it in the toilet and I took a shit on it. And then I threw it outside and into the garbage because that's how bad it was. It was just as bad as me going into a porta potty on a very, 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 very hot day and having a diarrhea dump in the porta potty, in that hot porta potty, which that actually did happen a few days ago while I was away on vacation. I just got back a couple days ago. It was a fun trip. This is off topic, but I had a fun trip, but when we were about to leave, we were going to go paddleboarding one last time, but I had to take a bad dump. So I went inside the very hot porta potty. It felt like a sauna. The only source of air that I had was those holes in the top, and it felt exactly like a sauna. I think I might have discovered state parks' secret saunas that they don't want their customers to know about. And it was horrible. I don't want to be in a sauna. That's exactly how bad Caroline and the Magic Potion was. It's like being in a sauna on a super hot day taking a dump. That's exactly what it feels like. Yeah, and you can also... The film was in low budget. CGI sucked. The characters made no sense. The characters were designed poorly. And the cat looks scary. And the snails have an ear-splitting singing voice. It sounds high-pitched and tinny. Oh my god. And now my roommate's upset with me because I took a shit on that disc in the toilet. I had to get some gloves and pick it up and throw it outside in the garbage. And I have to clean all that up tomorrow. And she says that she's going to tell the landlord, which I'm terrified, actually. I'll just tell him I'm sorry and maybe pay a fine. But it's worth it because Caroline and the Magic Potion sucks. Sucks eggs. And it's stupid and makes no sense. It's not entertaining at all. It's boring. It has a lot of unnecessary scenes. Stupid as hell. There are some stupid people out there who rip off film, who take really good, well-known films and rip them off with their own crap, and then they release it to the public. Well, I have something to say for you. Stop doing it! It's wrong! I'm serious, though. Those films should... Every known copy of those rip-offs of famous films should be thrown away in a dumpster and set on fire. And be nothing but burning tires. Or whatever the hell. The whole film is cheap and disgusting. There are other horrible rip-off films like Ratatouille, which is horrible. It was boring when I watched Ratatouille, but this is about Caroline and the Magic Potion. Oh, and it's now been 20 minutes into the video, and I'm talking about this god-awful film. Well, I'll spend a few more minutes about this film. I'm very mad at all those people who ripped off these films and put them out in public. And say, oh yeah, this will be a great film. Well, it's not! It's horrible, it's bland, cheap, and shitty, and no one will want to watch it. So, anyone out there, please watch the real versions. Don't watch rip-offs. They suck. Well, you can watch them if you want to. Just watch at your own risk. And don't throw your remote at the TV. It'll break the TV. Just complain to the company who made these films. But I make decent to good videos. I don't rip off other people. I make my own. It's also plagiarism. I think the companies of the original film should sue the companies who did the rip-offs, and make them lose a lot of money in that lawsuit as an apology for ripping all those films off and ruining people's childhoods or perspectives or whatnot. Alright, you know what, guys? I have to go. So this was me telling you what I think about Caroline and the Magic Potion. Now, there are probably some of you out there who love that film. I hate to say this, but if you do love that film, you're stupid. No, I'm just kidding. If you like it, okay, if you like it. But this is just my opinion, and when I found it online, it was rated 1 star. Which means it's awful. Anything rated 1 star is awful. Alright, everybody. I'm going to get going now. See you guys all next time, whenever that is. And I'll be... I'll be here. I've got back from vacation, so I'll be here. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.